Don't you love it when you go to the bathroom and you come back to find your food waiting for you?
We're lucky we got it all. Buddy Holly doesn't seem to be much of a waiter. We should have sat in the Marilyn Monroe section.
Which one? There's 2 Marilyn Monroes.
No, there's not. That's Marilyn Monroe. And that's Mammy Van Doren. I don't see Jane Mansfield, so it must be her night off.
Pretty smart.
I have my moments.
Did you think of something to say?
Actually, there's something I want to ask you about, but you seem like a nice person and I didn't want to offend you.
Ooh, this doesn't sound like mindless, boring, getting to know you chit-chat. This sounds like you actually have something to say.
Only if you promise not to get offended.
You can't promise something like that. I don't know what you're going to ask. You could ask me what you're going to ask me, and my natural response could be to be offended. Then through no fault of my own, I would have broken my promise.
Then let's just forget it.
That's an impossibility. Trying to forget anything as intriguing as this would be an exercise in futility.
Is that a fact?
Yes. Besides, it's much more exciting when you don't have permission.
What do you think about what happened to Antoine?
Who's Antoine?
Tony Rocky Horror.
He fell out a window.
That's one way to say it. Another way is he was thrown out. Another way is he was thrown out by Marcellus. And even another way is he was thrown out of a window by Marcellus because of you.
Is that a fact?
No, it's not. It's just what I heard.
Who told you this?
They
talk a lot, don't they?
They certainly do.
Well, don't be shy, Vincent. What exactly did they say? Let me help you, Bashful. Did it involve the F word?
No. They just said Rocky Horror gave you a foot massage.
And?
No and. That's it.
You heard Marcellus threw Tony Rocky Horror out of a 4-story window because he massaged my feet?
Yeah.
And you believed that?
At the time I was told it seemed reasonable.
It seemed reasonable that Marcellus throwing Tony Rocky Horror out of a 4-story window for giving me a foot massage seemed reasonable?
No, it seemed excessive. But that doesn't mean it didn't happen. I heard Marcellus is very protective of you.
A husband being protective of his wife is one thing. A husband almost killing another man for touching his wife's feet is something else.
But did it happen?
The only thing Antoine ever touched of mine was my hand when he shook it. I met Antoine once at my wedding, then never again. The truth is, nobody knows why Marcellus tossed Tony Rocky Horror out of that window except for Marcellus and Tony Rocky Horror. But when you scamps get together, you're worse than a sewing circle. It really pissed me off.